guys, Ben from BP Performance here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace your transmission pan gasket and a filter. I'll show you how to do the filter. I'm not doing a filter on this one. On a 08 to 18 Jeep Wrangler JK. Main issue with this one is we got some leakage. It's leaking around the gasket, especially in the rear, and the customer's getting drips all along their trans pan and in their driveway, and obviously it's not something you want. First things first, you got to take off these three 18mm bolts, give you better access to the trans. Hopefully we don't have to take this off. I'm not entirely sure those are going to come off, but you know, give it a shot. So now these should come out relatively easy. I just soaked them a little bit. But depending where you live, they may not. Like that there. Came out fine. I'll have to chase those threads up before I get crazy into it. Alright, just a 10mm bolt. And you can just push that out of the way. It's just a heat shield for the dipstick tube. Not the dipstick tube, transmission wiring. And now this one should come out a little. This one is not very pretty. Okay. As you can see, it's like a little U-shaped clamp with the bolt just to hold the pan up. Pretty stupid, if I would say. However, I did not design them. Oops, pissing everywhere. Alright. Of course, it's absolutely boiling hot because she just drove it here. However, not a big deal. Let the pan drain down. Holds about 5.3 quarts drain and fill with a filter. I got 6 just in case. Probably is only going to take 5. Let the pan cool down. Another common issue I think on these is the trans cooler lines. Seems to be another issue. This transmission has about 85,000 on it, so I was a little skeptical on changing the fluid, but it's still pretty clean, and I don't think I have to worry about it. If you have anywhere over 100,000, I wouldn't suggest replacing the fluid. I would catch the fluid in a can and then reuse it, because the clutch material from inside the transmission is all in that fluid, and changing it's gonna wipe all that out. And trans fluid acts as a detergent, and it's just gonna end up wiping your clutches out, and you're gonna have a lot bigger issues on your hand that you really don't want to deal with. This one's making me nervous. A little tight. Alright, so all I got now is this. Hold on right here. Come on. Alright. So, trans pan is now free. Alright, so I got the pan off, and no matter how you do it, you have to drop the exhaust. And obviously, the bolts broke immediately. They were about a paper thin. So here's your filter here. To take it out, you just pop it down. There'll still be fluid in there, so just be careful. Pop it down. You can swap it out. I'm not swapping it out, so I'm leaving it alone. The kit I bought didn't have an extra filter. And here's your pan right here. Highly suggest cleaning that magnet out real good. There's your trans pan right here. There's your gasket. First thing you do, trans pan off. Is to make sure this magnet is nice and clean. All the metal flakes and gunk and crap from inside the trans. Magnet comes out actually. This magnet will tell you your health of your trans. You know, a whole lot of metal shavings are on it, then you might be too late to do your trans flush. If you don't, like this one was relatively okay. Had only a few, only had a little bit of metal. Clean that with some brake clean. Get our pan nice and clean. Put the magnet back, right back where you found it. Flip it over. Get the existing pan as clean as possible. Dry, you want to make sure after, you know, when you're doing your checks, your pan's dry. This pan's obviously been under the car for 10 years. You're not going to get all that tarnish off, but whoop. Get it as clean as possible. You lay your new gasket on. So this is a Melee. This is your part number here. W32819. That's if you decide to do gasket only. Be careful opening it, obviously you don't want to cut your gasket up, and you just lay that right on there nice and pretty. There's little dimples on the side that the gasket tracks into. You can leave it in. Now don't put any RTV, don't put any nothing on it. This gasket will seal itself up nice and clean. Slide it in. Make sure your gasket stayed on. Alright, looks like we're good. So I recommend starting with these. Whoop. There's two on the side here. The torque spec for these pan bolts on the 4-speed is 14 foot-pounds, and the 5-speed, the one with 5 forward gears, is 105 inch-pounds, which equates to about 8.5 or 9 foot-pounds. So I have all these pan bolts torqued. Except this corner one, I couldn't get to it. That one's just tight. And so after that, you clean everything down and bolt your exhaust back up if you can. And you go up top and you fill. So I'll be right back with the fill sequence, and then we'll be. Alright, so now we're up here to fill it. I'm using Napa brand ATF +4. Both the 4-speed and the 5-speed take ATF +4. Initial fill on this one, this is the 5-speed, I believe. Holds 5.3 quarts with the filter pull. I pulled the filter to drain it out and clean it out real quick because the kit I bought didn't have a filter. So I put that back in. So I'm going to fill 5.3 quarts here. After that, you're going to want to sit in the car for about 2 or 3 minutes and shift it between park neutral, reverse drive. While stop, have your foot on the brake, park, reverse neutral drive. Run through all the gears for 2 to 3 minutes. Get the fluid going up through, and then you're going to want to check the fluid again. But before that, you're going to go underneath the vehicle and you're going to check for leaks, because not everything is always going to be certain. So you want to always make sure that your work is good. So here we got the trans pan. And she's looking mighty dry. Now this trans might have other minor seepages and leaks and all, but I think we're good. Get this Jeep back on the road and go from there. There'll be plenty more videos on this Jeep. I'm gonna go do coolant flushes, radiator hose swaps, differential, transfer case, all that type of stuff. But for now, that's how you do your automatic transmission service on a 2007 through 18 Jeep Wrangler JK with a 5-speed. 4-speed might be a little different, but all the same concept. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.